Today, we're finally going back for defense. We picked up an extra boom cannon because we hate rocket choppas. We maxed our shock launchers since at least one of them you can't tiny shock, so that like half a second extra of stun might come in handy. And also we went back for troop damage and GB, should really help our laser hits. Again, these attacks aren't going to be easy, but I'd rather do tough laser hits than have anything to do with cryo bombers. So we'll try a few out. And my rule of thumb now is, if it's like a normal base with max mortars, mines, still do the same 2 heavies, 6 laser hit. But if there's anything extra like shock launchers or flames, take 3 heavies to be a bit safer. Now this guy has no buildings on the left side, so we can essentially just drop Sparky and do some of our critters. Even no cryo bomb because, well, these mines, you can have her natural critters kill them, go in the mortar blind spot, and just do 2 tiny shocks. And it's easier because we can just still drop lasers on the right side the same time as Sparky. And with GBE we can do some more cryo bombs. So 1 right here, 1 more on this side. And even though this looks nasty, it just looks like that, but lasers just gonna wreck straight through. So we'll start with 2 heavies and Sparky on the left side. Heavies are a bit slower, so we can let them catch up. And also let Sparky do some of her critters. And now do lasers on the right side. So we'll wait for those critters to maybe clear some mines. And then just hit 2 of Sparky's normal critters. Tiny shocks on this side, start at least 1 cryo bomb. Heavy's cleared some of the left mines, so cryo bomb a bit more on the right side. And left Sparky we don't really care about. So even right after that ER, can go ahead and start flaring. Avoiding this mine, doing some weird flares. Maybe like 1 more on this side. And we'll do 1 final one pretty close. We'll do 1 cryo bomb right there. Do want to tiny shock the Flotty because it does a lot of splash. But that machine gun we can sort of ignore it. Still want to do a flare back as soon as the Flotty dies. So getting that flare right now. Timing is, I guess, a bit okay. But then just keep on doing cryo bombs. You don't want to hit on the shield, so just doing around it. And even a base that's a bit weird, gonna be a fast time. Our troop damage really helping out. So a base like this looks like around 245. Now our main immediate threat is gonna be rocket chopper players, especially those with 150 troop damage, even both GBE like this guy. So our only hope is just still be faster. Good news is, since they spent 32 keys off path to get choppas, you have those extra keys on whatever defense you bought. Even though things like shock launchers, later flames don't hit air stuff, you can hopefully put them in places just they have to still burn through, and your cannons, boom cannons, shoot them down. But here on this base, because nothing extra, we can still take 2 heavies. And even on the left side, there's no mines to worry about. Because pretty sure all the critters go to this machine gun, then that stuff. Though that we will tiny shock that sniper. So on this side, starting off right here, Sparky again on the left. And after like 1 second, drop the lasers. We can even do a flare on the right side first, and then do Sparky's critters. So waiting just a few seconds, want to flare on this side. Do some of Sparky's critters. Do want to tiny shock most of the snipers, because they can pin down a bunch of these guys. Even 1 cryo bomb just to be safe, don't trust those 2 mines. And we'll do 2 more tiny shocks right here. While on the right side, what we can do is first flare down that Flotty, maybe doing a cryo bomb first, and I guess 1 more tiny shock. But as soon as that Flotty dies, we do want to do a flare a bit back. So hopefully that's good enough. Left side looks okay. And now just wait some time, and that mortar might be really annoying, hitting quite a few lasers, or being lucky and just skipping most of them. We'll do a few more flares avoiding that stuff, and now just 1 final cryo bomb for those mines. Plus slowing down those mortars. And here it's just a matter of time. Last main threat is that mortar, so letting these lasers burn through. He did have a lot of offense stats, so even though we're getting around 245, sometimes it's not fast enough. Always gonna be some chopper players that you just can't beat. But even if you don't win every game, you can still have a good push. Here we got pretty lucky and taking that win. And another threat we have to worry about is secret players coming up maybe sooner than we expect. All the guys that are completely rushing forward, didn't unlock choppas or lasers, could already have secrets. So hoping our shock launchers now and flames a bit later can do some amount to mitigate them. We'll still see, but could be some time in prison coming up. And this guy's pretty nasty with flames, shock launchers, and boom mines, so already taking at least 3 heavies. We can still do largely the same hit. There's only 2 splash on the left side. Though looking again, we can do a little bit from the left, doing something like maybe 2 heavies, 1 right there, still sparking the left side, and then just waiting quite a bit to drop the lasers. Maybe like 2 on this side, 3 lasers here. Because better we have our normal troops take down this splash and then do critters, so we have more GB on the right side. We'll already do 1 cry bomb. Actually, we'll wait a bit. Want to take advantage of the slow effect, and now we can do a flare on this side. Do 2 of Sparky's critters. Because it's better you delay the cry bomb so you can also slow down the machine gun. We'll wait a few more seconds, do another weird flare over here, and go ahead and do 1 more cry bomb. Because when you time the cry bomb a bit later, like that machine gun doesn't kill as many lasers. Heavy should hopefully split, not really on the left, so if it's gonna tiny shock, I think it should be okay. Shock launchers are gonna be pretty annoying though. We'll do 1 cry bomb for mines on the right side, get a flare going right here, and then pretty soon do another cry bomb. Some people were asking about shocking that shock launcher. We're like holding down our finger and then just releasing it right at the edge. Sometimes you get the mortar, but it looks like in this case we got the shock launcher. Same with this one over here, shocking that. Are losing a fair amount of lasers, but we have 1 more cry bomb and just hoping that's enough. Both shock launchers are shocked, so now it's just lasers getting the job done. And maybe just spamming critters, because most of the splash is taken care of. I think yesterday we got like barely 2 minutes, about the same this time. Love that we killed the engine nearly the same time as a shield. And this one pulling a 210. Maybe it's still okay, but is on the slower side. Shock launchers do suck, and if tiny shocking them is too difficult, then you can just spam Sparky's critters and just keep on cycling cry bombs. Now we will show that shock launcher one more time. It's essentially whenever there's any building completely diagonal from the shield. So shock launcher on this side, same over here. In fact, same with that boom cannon. I always think of it as sort of a dead man's trigger, because the game doesn't care about where you first tap, it only cares where you release your finger. So once you press tiny shock, first you can tap your finger really anywhere next to the shield, but then slowly rotate it so the point you let go is right at the edge right there. Tiny shocks, ironically enough, have a tiny bit of splash, so even if it looks like you're hitting the ground, it can sometimes still shock a building. And the more you practice, the better you get at shocking those guys. So if it's too difficult, just ignore trying to tiny shock them, and then cycle Sparky's critters plus Cryobomb. Here we got a guy who's 6 engines. There's a good chance he's a secret player, and actually the first 6 ER we faced. So what we can do is maybe something like flaring some lasers on this side, up there they'll wrap back around, and then maybe even like, I was gonna say Sparky alone on this side, but could do a few lasers to help her out. So we can try that. 2 heavies, 4 lasers on this side, we'll do 1 flare, and then later just Sparky and 2 lasers over here, with this being the last engine. But looking one more time, we'll do something completely different. First time hitting anyways. We'll do 1 heavy each side, 3 lasers on the right, 3 on the left with Sparky, and we'll do a Cryobomb essentially on both sides. First do 1 right here, 1 on the right side, slowing down splash and clearing mines, tiny shock the ones that look closer to lasers, do 1 of Sparky's critters And for right now, just let them go. I have enough critters on either side. Can do one Cryo Bomb pretty soon. This one don't really have to worry about, so get a Cryo Bomb going right here. And I think right now we can start doing a weird flare. Do a bunch of Sparky's critters with at least one Tiny Shock. And that flare to hopefully get the left engine first, Tiny Shock that Flotty. And we can just straight up flare it. Let's take down this engine and then move to the right side. Gonna cost a few seconds. Now we can send the flare. And this one looks okay too. Right side, hope some of Sparky's critters get those 3 mines. Or one a Cryo Bomb pretty soon. So maybe get one going right now. Especially getting the mortar under the shield. And now just a matter of time. Shield goes down in a few seconds. Just about sending that flare. And not sure if the time is great, but with this being some guy with mortars, 238 doesn't look too bad. Because we kinda did the same hit as a 5 engine using critters for 1 ER, but just a weird split instead. And looks like right here, we're gonna get him. Being the first 6 engine we faced didn't seem too bad. We had to use critters on this engine since there's a Flotty on this side, so can't do the opposite. But I think the hit worked out. Because you're still using Cryo Bomb mainly for mines, sure we slow down buildings too. And like here, since we have a heavy in front, don't have to Tiny Shock the left splash. But on the right side, gotta Tiny Shock that. And then just let them go, still clearing a few buildings. But once they clear enough, then we can just start flaring, do 2 of Sparky's critters, and let these guys go. 1 Tiny Shock on that mortar. Here we did 1 flare, not really sure why in the middle first. But essentially just killing this engine, then going on the right side. Once critters get the bottom one, we do 1 more Cryo Bomb. This also kind of means maybe not a good idea to rush 6 engines without getting some more defense. But that's also going to be just enough for Diamond, getting that chest. And ideally now, even with some flames later on, should hopefully have enough tech to either push to Diamond, close to it, and stay there. Because other than flames, there isn't so much strong tech we can get. 24 keys for just 2 buildings isn't really worth it. Boom mines and shock mines, well, we have Cryo Bomb. And rockets cost like 130 keys, so that by the time we get that, we can already be halfway to getting heavy choppers. So right now, whether you can rank up or not, I think the plan is getting flames, and then start saving probably like 4 or 5 days in prison. Don't think we'll open 6 engines until either 6 or all the way till heavy chops. And that's nearly 300 keys, so gonna take a while. But if you can't tell how happy we are, we didn't use a single Cryo Bomber today. So I think it's a good part of the season. Figuring out these laser hits, trying to find ways to make them work, and even if it's tough, still giving it a shot. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.